Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United transfer news as the Garnacho to Napoli story moves forward. Where do you sit on this? Get in the comments. So basically, there is talk coming in this afternoon from Italy that Napoli have already held meetings with Garnacho's entourage and they've been working on it for weeks. It's getting serious. There's also been talk of an offer of £38 million, including bonuses for Garnacho. United asking for around 60 million. Obviously, we had Ben Jacobs on the show earlier. You can check that out with Beth. Check that out on the United channel, United Stand channel with Beth and Ben, B&B. Ben, no, yeah, anyway. Don't start digging a hole at 4 o'clock. Right, I did that on the watch along yesterday. So yeah, basically what was said there is that Garnacho, that's basically strong sources at United, they're not actively pushing him out, and he doubts that Ben Jacobs doubts that Garnacho would go in January unless a large offer came in with that Kvaratskhelia money from Napoli. My interpretation of this is we shouldn't be doing it. I think you can do too much. I think sometimes it's a bit like a transfer window on FIFA or Football Manager where you're getting all these offers in for your players and you're going, yeah. And then you go and buy a couple of players and then you look at your squad and go, shit, I got rid of too much here. I think removing Garnacho is wrong on many levels, but from a squad level, it would be wrong. If Rashford goes, Casemiro goes, you're trying to get rid of Anthony, maybe all of those players don't go in January, but they are players we're trying to get rid of. Garnacho would be behind them, but then you'd move him ahead of them just to cash in on a bit of money. I don't think that's viable. I don't think that's a good idea. The guy, look, whatever you say about Garnacho, 2 assists in his last 2 games, and he didn't start against Liverpool. So you're asking him to respond to being dropped for the Man City game. You're asking him to be more creative. And in his last 2 games, he's had 2 assists against 2 of the best teams in the league. The top 2, arguably. So I think Garnacho obviously has gone through a bit of a bad period. I don't dispute that. But is he not responding to what Amrim wanted? And Amrim has said he wants players that respond to his criticisms. And certainly I think Garnacho's doing that. I think it would be a mistake to cash in on him on January. And also, let me say this very, very clearly. For me, if we did let Garnacho go, it would be this whole we're a business, not a football club. I don't think we'd be letting Garnacho go because he's not wanted like a Casemiro. I think we'd be letting him go because somebody offers money that we want to take, which makes us a selling club. And I know that there will be people in the comments saying, I don't rate Garnacho, we should get rid of him. But to me, and I think many others as well, this would be perceived as Man United being a selling club. I don't think we're letting Garnacho go because we don't think he's good enough. I don't think we're letting him go because he's got a bad attitude. I don't think we're letting him go because he hasn't got potential. I think we'd be letting him go because somebody else sees potential in him and they're going to give us money that we desperately need because we're broke because of the Glazers. So I don't like this deal. It doesn't represent, to me personally, something that I think symbolically Manchester United should be doing. We would be letting a 20-year-old go to another club who sees potential in him because they're giving us money that we desperately need because we haven't got any, because we've been run into the ground over the last 10 years by an ownership that is still here. It would be Glazonomics, and I don't understand why people would celebrate that. Personally, I am of the opinion that the likes of Xerxes, the likes of Garnacho, and maybe a couple of others are in the let's see what you do between now and the end of the season. We've got an important few months coming up. The league's not going to throw anything up for us positively like a top 5 finish in Champions League football, but we could go from wherever we are now into the top 10, and then it's like how high can you go in a very competitive league? Obviously, the main priority is the Europa League, and that is an option to win a trophy, but also to get back in the Champions League, and we're still in the FA Cup. So there's plenty of opportunities for players to prove themselves over the next few months, and I see Garnacho in that category. And I think, as I said, he's already responded in some ways, and there is much more to come from him. I wouldn't want to be cashing in on him. There are many players ahead of Garnacho that need to go now if we can. I would say, obviously, you're going to say Casemiro, you're going to say Anthony, you're going to say Rashford, but I'm also going to say Eriksen and I'm going to say Lindelof. Those 5 players, for different reasons, wage, age, whatever you want to call it, they've got to go first. We should not be cashing in on Garnacho, in my opinion, and it would be problematic to replace him at this stage. I certainly don't think you can let Garnacho, Rashford and Antony go in January. And if you let Garnacho go and stick with Antony or Rashford, I think you're sticking with a worse prospect at this moment in time. But I have acknowledged this since the story came out that this is problematic. Of course it's problematic. You're going to get a team in Napoli with money and a title race. They're in a title race. They are an attractive proposition if they sell it. And my fear is that if United go, well, look, let's talk, that instantly makes Garnacho and his camp go, okay, you don't value me. Oh, I will talk to Napoli. And then Napoli go, we value you. Maradona used to be here. You play for Argentina. We've got a spot on the wing. We're in a title race. We're ambitious. Here's the wages. Come to us. And then suddenly you've lost it because the player is going, well, you haven't treated me well. So I think it's an important moment for United to resist this. And I hope that Ben Jacobs is correct, that United are going to resist it, because I believe we're best served sticking with what we've got in relation to Garnacho and certainly Xerxes as well until the summer, with already quite a lot of upheaval there. The flip side to the coin is you take the 50 million, you go and try and get Mendes out of PSG. But you're still going to be left short in the attacking positions because you've got, look, there's question marks over Rasmus, there's question marks over Xerxes. Bruno is a lot better. Ahmad, everybody's happy with. But beyond that, there's 3 positions, 4 players. Rashford's going. Anthony's not up to it. Mount's never fit. So we're not going to have many options in that front 3 if we remove Garnacho as well. So for me, it's a no. What about the price tag? Well, I mean, 38 million plus bonuses, they can go swivel. Absolute swivel on that. I would want 50 million minimum, and then bonuses and add-ons on top of that. This has got to be a deal that you go, okay, there's no risk attached to that. And as I said, for me, the risk is I don't think this is a deal that we should be doing. I'd be very interested to read the comments on this, though, because I think there are some fans that would go, take the 50 million, let's go and buy Mendes. But I don't think you're looking at the fact that it's not about that's not about getting rid of one of our worst players and we win. This is about getting rid of a prospect, undervalue, because the Glazers have run the club into the ground and we're desperate for money. I don't like sell to buy. I don't like it in that sense when you're selling players that are meant to be part of your future. I don't mind sell to buy if it's Wan-Bissaka to get Mazraoui, but I don't like sell to buy, let's get rid of one of our exciting youngsters to generate a bit of money. It's the sort of thing, if I'm being disrespectful, it's the sort of thing smaller clubs have been doing for a long time. It's the sort of thing that, Everton do when they sell John Stones to Man City. You cash in on a player, let them go somewhere better, and then use that money to buy other players. I don't like that for a club like Manchester United, but look, hopefully it's not going to happen. Get your comments in. We're back at 8 o'clock. Smash a like and subscribe and all that jazz. Like doing these sort of things, so let me know what your thoughts are. Get in the comments, and I'll speak to you live at 8 o'clock. Take care, everyone. Speak to you all in a bit.